My background, I am the CEO for about 2.5 years now of a great company called Food State, and I'll introduce you to what we're up to. Before that, I worked many, many years ago with a company called Procter & Gamble. Learned a ton from their sales culture and how they built culture. I worked for another great sales organization called Boston Scientific. Many of you may be familiar, known as one of the best in terms of teaching sales and sales culture that I've ever seen. I then worked for a company called AnswerThink. It's now called the Hackett Group. And many CFOs of large companies are familiar with the Hackett Group. They do best practice benchmarking. I ran their strategy department. They benchmark about 40,000 key metrics across a complete organization. For me, it was boring because it was companies like IBM and McGraw-Hill and very, very boring companies. We go into the executive team and present our strategies, and they go, great, we'll work that right into the 5-year plan. We're like, okay, well, this is very boring. So I continually went smaller and smaller. I've been in the natural products industry now on the supplement and organic produce and product side for almost 14 years. So I love the natural industry, big on health and wellness, and that's a little bit about me. This is the house where my office is. I love it. Our company was founded in 1973. Big red door with a doorbell. The doorbell still rings. I still answer the door. It is a fantastic place to work. I love it with all my heart and love what I do. Food State is absolutely a purpose-driven company in a purpose-driven industry. If you've ever been into a health food store, anybody ever been in a health food store? Lots of times people with Birkenstocks and dreads and gauge earrings and sleeve tattoos are very passionate about what they do. So this is the industry that we live in. Our mission is we are in the business of improving lives by staying true to the intention of food. Our largest brand is Megafood. And I'll talk a little bit more about our mission and what we're doing, but everyone run out and buy Megafood, and I'll tell you why in just a second. I am extremely passionate about building culture. I've been the CEO of 3 significant companies and tried to do my best to build a great culture in every single one of them with some great success. I love my job so much, and I'm so big on building culture that we talk about improving lives, and the mission is our company. So we have a little, and when Patty invited me to speak today, I was very excited because I would imagine that your mission as an HR professional is the same as my mission. We're in the business of improving lives. And so I wanted to kind of level set today and take us out of kind of the technical realm of being an HR professional and get it back to the basics. Most of the best HR professionals I know are in love with the people. They love the interaction. They love what they do for the people. The fact that our healthcare benefits only went up by 3 or 4%, I think it was this past year, is significant. When I've got employees coming up to me saying, how did you keep it so low? And I'm reading about this, so thank you to everyone involved at Riverside for making that available to us. But in the end, we're all in the business of improving lives. So we start every meeting at Food State with this question. What business are we in? And then everybody at Food State says, improving lives. So we're going to try that today because all of you are HR professionals, and we're going to welcome you into the Food State culture today because you all believe in this. So what business are we in? Improving lives. Way boring. We need some more Chardonnay. Maybe we should do another 4-7-8 breath. Okay. What business are we in? Improving lives. That's right. That's absolutely right. And we remind ourselves of that every single day. It is our mission. We start every single training with that. We start all of our calls with that. We've got a Food State Monthly tomorrow where we invite all of our leaders in, and we start it with this particular quote, and it's huge. So let me see what my next slide is here. A little commercial about our company. You all need to buy Megafood. We are the only company that starts with fresh, local, organic fruits and vegetables, and we process that in a unique way and put it into a pill. It's absolutely the world's best supplement. And how many of you are taking it? I know Dan takes it. I know a couple people taking it here. If you need an employee account, let me know. It's fantastic. You guys will love it. The reason I put this up here is because we all have something unique about our company, and that has to be ingrained in your culture. Every company in here has something unique. Every single company has something unique. And just plant that in the back of your mind because we need to promote that and be a big part of that each and every day. So I love culture so much that we named our culture. So I'm going to let my employees take you through this quick video on hopefully this will work.
It's funny that you asked that. People ask me all the time, what is Zing Mojo?
When I hear the term Zing Mojo, I think of a fun and exciting, changing, crazy environment.
I envision Zing Mojo as a bunch of people running around but somehow managing to still accomplish a goal.
My name is Moonbeam. Zing Mojo. That's like,
To me, means controlled chaos.
Zing gets me a little excited. It's that feeling when you drink like 5 coffees.
Seems out of control, but really at the end of the day, it all comes together.
that's like a whole bunch of craziness.
Zing Mojo means something very special to my heart.
To me, Zing Mojo's like getting your hair dyed. At first, it may seem really crazy and not be the color you're looking for, but after a few washes, it looks great.
Zing Mojo. I think about that a lot. It all started when I was a child, growing up in the foothills of New Hampshire.
It also means that we're probably running in different directions.
Personally, it's the craziness that comes with everyday life.
A little chaos, but with no drama, which I like a lot.
If I could express Zing Mojo with a specific tone that best describes Zing Mojo, I would have to say,
Zing Mojo!
Zing Mojo. Zing Mojo.
Zing Mojo. I get the jitters inside.
Zing Mojo.
Zing Mojo!
Zing Mojo.
Zing Mojo.
Zing Mojo!
Zing Mojo, baby, yeah.
That's a weird word.
Sometimes when you walk away and you hold your head and don't complain and then
The thing I love most about that video is I had nothing to do with it. My employees put it together. We were throwing a party called Zing Mojo. It's a festival that we throw every year for our consumers and customers that come in. We toured 500 people through our plant. We had bands, and we had food trucks, and we had local vendors, and we had a blast. We throw this party every year, so they put the video together as a way to kind of demonstrate our culture and talk a little bit about what we're up to as a company. Our official definition of Zing Mojo is the state of controlled craziness that comes when a group of people are in a hurry to deliver their mission of improving lives. Often seen as pure passion, but never drama, indicative of a whiteboard culture, figuring things out as they go, and the magic power that comes from working in a special culture. Wow, that company has Zing Mojo. So we use it quite a lot. And the reason that we took a shot at defining our culture this way, I'll tell you a little bit about before I came to Food State. At the time it was called BioSan, but Food State's the company name. It was very entrepreneur run. Maybe you're familiar. All the decisions went through the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur kept things very close to the vest, very risk averse. Didn't make a whole lot of decisions very fast. So the concept behind Zing Mojo for me and our executive team was to shift the culture. We had a monster effort to try to shift the culture from kind of everybody doing what they were told in a very slow and steady way to one where we had to empower our employees to get stuff done quickly. So we came up with this word and we started building around this word as a way to really get the point across. Now, we're not that crazy anymore. We've got lots of processes and good leaders and that kind of thing. But the concept of moving quickly and being in a hurry to accomplish our mission serves our needs. Okay? Does that make sense? It serves our needs, and I'll explain why in just a few more minutes. Let's see here. So let me ask the group. I've got Robert 7. Everybody on social media now is using a number, if you haven't noticed. So if you watch Inc. or Fast Company, everything's a number, the 5 reasons for this and the 6 reasons for that. Well, I've got 7 ways to cultivate culture today. But before I start, I wanted to see if there's anybody had any ideas out there. Are there any thoughts on what it takes to cultivate an exciting and effective culture? Some thoughts, anybody? Has anybody ever worked in a great culture? All right. Was it intentional? All right, good. Well, what did they do that made it intentional? What was key to building that culture?
Sincerity.
Sincerity, absolutely. Passion.
Open door.
Open door policy. Yeah, open communication. Positive attitude, absolutely. Accountability, yeah.
Walk the talk or do what you say you're going to do.
Walk the talk, absolutely. Competitive, wow. Yeah, communication. Pride, absolutely. Building some pride in what we do. Mm-hmm. These are all great ideas and great thoughts. I think a lot of them are descriptive of the culture. I think what I really want to key in on today is what does it take to cultivate exciting and effective cultures. I'm trying to be more tactical, and for me, this is just our way. Okay, my goal is really to inspire you to figure out a way to do it in your culture and to give you some ideas that you might be able to go back with and really affect. But ultimately, this is just our way. So this is my 7. I try to keep it very simple. I'm not a big, lots of words on the slide page. I'd rather you just call me if you want to talk about my slide deck, and we'll go through it. First and foremost is intention. Second is commitment. Third, ownership. Fourth, reward. 5, I'm a big believer in rhythm. Training, and then reminders. So my goal is to go through these with you a little bit, one at a time. I've got an hour, which was really a mistake to give me that much time. So we'll see how we go. So first and foremost is intention. Let's talk a little bit about intention. If you've seen me speak before, these are our core values at Food State. We use them each and every day, and they mean a lot to us. 2.5 years ago, when I became the CEO of Food State, this was my first step. And I went around to, first I put whiteboards on the walls out of my office and different places, and I wrote down, what is Food State? And we started brainstorming. And it was my way of initially getting to know the employees, and they would write on the whiteboards, and it was cool because they could do it anonymously. They could sneak in at night and they could write something really bad, and then we started grouping things together, and we put circles around stuff, and over the course of several months, this is what fell out. And all due respect to Susan, if she's still in here, I can't get it all in one hand, and I would submit that when you've got a culture, when you've got a baby culture, when you're transitioning the way we were transitioning, I would lean heavier towards descriptive. I would lean heavier towards being really clear that these are the 8 instead of trying to get it simple. Does that make sense? I'm all for simple. In fact, I think over the next 3 or 4 years as our culture bakes, this will start to simplify. But for us, it was important for us to get out there and say these are the 8. And in fact, we've been able to take this and make this, I use a coin analogy, because some of these are very complementary and 2 sides of the same coin. So I'll give you an example. Share the love and be real. We talk about being real a lot, but the flip side of that coin is share the love. Okay? So you can't just be a jerk. It doesn't say be a jerk. It says be real, but if we come at that from the standpoint of sharing the love, it keeps the balance, right? Same thing with value health and wellness and enjoy the journey. So we're a health and wellness company, but I can tell you we celebrate with bottles of Dom Perignon and we write on it, okay? We do birthday cakes. We don't do McDonald's and Pizza Hut. But we do birthday cakes because we want to enjoy the journey. It's not about this black and white kind of view. So we've been able to use this as a way to kind of drive where we're at. We also drive this in a number of ways by making it very real to people through their performance reviews, which I'll talk about in just a second. This was not driven by HR. It was not driven by HR. And another point on that is the second point, I think, which we'll be going to now, is commitment. Does anybody know who needs to drive the culture, ultimately, for it to be successful? The CEO. Yeah, Ron's pointing to me. That's exactly right. If you don't have your CEO's buy-in, sorry, folks. Now, the nice thing about the HR person is you can make it real easy for the CEO. I can tell you when I've got folks around me who make it easy for me to nod and say yes and to implement things, it's awesome. Okay, it's very, very good. So don't leave discouraged. Make it easy. But if you don't have a CEO that's engaged in this and wants to get it and wants to go there, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be absolutely difficult. So just kind of check that off in your brain. And if you don't have that guy, you can kind of, I'm sure we're all Riverside portfolio companies, so we have that guy. It's all good. Okay? But the link between intention and commitment, the two, start from the top. The link between intention and commitment starts from the top of the organization. Absolutely. And without it, it's very difficult. So I'm going to see if you guys can see some commitment in this video. Anybody see any commitment here? That's actually me, so if you didn't catch it. He actually goes faster. This is really, and it wasn't fair because they basically greased the seat. So they don't want anybody to get hurt, so they grease the seat. This was our last town hall meeting, and this was me taking the first spin on our mechanical bull for the town hall meeting. The theme of the meeting was harvest. We've been really sowing a lot of seeds, investing in manufacturing thanks to Riverside, investing in tours, investing in people. We've been investing like crazy, and now this year is time for the harvest. Okay? So that was our theme for the town hall, was the harvest. So we had a mechanical bull, we had a fake cow you can milk, so we had a milking contest, we had one of the things you slam and the bell goes off. Everybody had cowboy hats and dressed up. Last year was our 40th anniversary, so we had a big disco party, and everybody came in the garb, and we had dance contests, and so we had a lot of fun at our biannual town hall meetings. But the point is commitment. You've got to have commitment at the top, and the commitment from the top gets cultivated through the executive teams, and it gets cultivated down through the directors. If there's no commitment, no fun culture, at least. There may be a culture. You will have a culture. The other thing I'd like to talk a little bit about is our commitment to our mission. Our mission is improving lives, just like your mission, right? So does anybody want to take a guess? This is our mission, improving lives, and Elsa can't participate because she knows the answer. Does anyone want to take a guess of what this number represents? 1.6 million. Excuse me?
How many pills a day?
Nope. Not how many pills a day. Anyone else?
How many lives we've improved?
Love you. Yes.
Probably a period of time, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Ding, ding, ding. You are a winner. How many lives we improved in 2013? So this is actually the number of times that we've improved a life in 2013. So we don't track revenue. And it's funny because this is a new thing for us. Our sales team requested that we go back to tracking lives improved and not necessarily revenue. So of course we look at revenue. But we've got a factor of revenue that gives us how many times we've improved lives measure, and we use this each and every day. So 1.6 million, roughly, is how many times we improved a life in 2013. Anybody want to guess what this number is? That was 2013. Our goal for 2014, correct. So our goal for 2014 is to improve lives more than 2 million times. And if you ask any of our employees, they will know what this number is. This is about 30% growth that we're looking for this year, and it correlates to our revenue. What's nice about that is I'm on social media a lot, and I can share these numbers. It's pretty cool. I could say in January we improved lives 400,000 times if I want to, because it doesn't mean anything to anyone but us. But it makes sure that we're committed to the mission and thinking about the mission day in and day out. Anybody want to know what this number is? Have you ever heard of BHAGs? BHAG, you might know what a BHAG is, you've heard of it. Big, hairy, audacious goal, that's right. This is what the marketplace says we should be doing in terms of improved lives. If you look at the marketplace data and extrapolate where we're at, without much effort, if you just look at the numbers, this is where we should be, which is a little over 2.5 times our current size. So it's monster growth. And everybody knows this number. And the way we present this number of 5 million lives improved is this is what the market says we should be. We're in our own way. And going back to Zing Mojo, we're in a hurry to improve lives. So it kind of starts to remove those barriers and kind of breaks it down. Does anybody know what this number is? I love these games, as you could tell. This is a harder one, almost 15 million. This is the number of times we've improved lives since 1973. So this is our tally. This is what we're going on. And as we grow, that number becomes. This, I have to truly tell you, motivates employees. It motivates our employees. They get it. They can connect it to the mission, and they can connect it clearly to the mission. They know why we're here. I can tell you that if you had started off that exercise this morning, possibly, why are we all here? If everyone in this room had agreed to why we're all here, you might have taken notes a little differently. You might have thought about the speakers in a different way. So when it comes to building culture, I would say that it starts here. Commitment, intention, you got to get that right, okay? Third, ownership. So we talked about intention, commitment, and then ownership. Are you going to own the culture? So I am probably, in my tenure as CEO here, I'm probably most proud of the Culture Club. The Culture Club sprang out of the associate level. Not directors, not managers, not exec, not CEO office. I had 3 associates come to me and say, we've got this great idea. We want to start the Culture Club, and it's going to be made up of a person from each department, no managers, and we want to help guide and direct the culture of our company. We want to be involved. And they came and they started. They did the logo. They drove what we do. It's amazing. So I'm just going to read some of the things. The mission, and they wrote their mission. So they sent this to me. The mission is to maintain our culture within Food Estate by creating programs and gatherings that align with the core values. So they've done bowling nights. We've done barbecues. You name it, we've done it. Fancy hat day. So they run it. It's beautiful. And I got to tell you, it's probably one of my proudest days. I had nothing to do with it. But to see that spring spring out, people got it right away. It was extremely important. Their big 2014 focus is to get us involved in the community. So they're working on service projects. We're talking to the YMCA. We're talking to several. We're very interested in children's health. So they're kind of run with that and how do we spread the love and share the love when it comes to children's health. They're running it all. And HR is the executive sponsor to make sure that they get what they need. But by no means do they run it. Does HR run it? They're the executive sponsor. It's wonderful. They elect people. That we just went through another round where they've changed over. So every year they change over the committee and they invite other people to be in the committee. It's very, very powerful and I love it. I'm very, very proud of that. Next one, attention, commitment, ownership, and then next is reward. We give these buttons out. These are our core value buttons. That is the shape of a gear. Does anyone know what the gear represents? A gear? Is everybody a gear? So it's a mechanical. Somebody said they were in the mechanical. So it's a gear. Does anybody get the significance of why these buttons are shaped like a gear? Sorry?
They drive that.
It's drive, yeah, sort of. Exactly. A gear is worthless by itself. If you've got a gear and it's sitting on the table with all those teeth in it, not going to do a whole lot. You can look at it, okay? You need other gears. You need other things to touch. The gears don't move unless they move together. So they chose the gear. So the check mark up there is do it right. The mask is be real. The balloon is enjoy the journey. The rocket ship is pursue your passion, value health and wellness, etc. So we have an MVP program that the Culture Club runs, and they nominate. We get nominations all the time. In fact, our nominations went up like 300% from 12 to 13. Our associates nominate each other, and then the manager, approves the nomination, and then they get held out on our Google Plus. We have a Google Plus community that we use internally to really pump everybody up. Anybody can post on it, and we thank them on the Google Plus community. And then twice a year at our town hall meetings, we give out the pins, and everybody gets a pin, and they wear them with pride, and it tells what the program is. Again, I had nothing to do with it, which I love. I think it's awesome. Now, we also have a Zing Mojo Award, which is the person every year, we do it in February at our town hall, that most represents the core values. And this year was one of our office managers. And she won a ukulele, a hand-painted Zing Mojo ukulele, and she was so proud of that ukulele. It was awesome, so we had a great time. But the reward and recognition here is a big part of it, and it can't be contrived. It's got to connect, right? I'm sure we've all tried some contrived reward and recognition programs. I got to tell you, the pins, they all get a certificate with the pin for whatever that core value is, and the certificates are proudly displayed. And the pins are worn where they can be. You can't in our manufacturing facility because it might fall in the supplements, but they hang them in their common areas and things like that. It's a huge program which I'm extremely proud of. So next, we've done intention, commitment, ownership, reward. Next is rhythm. So we drive rhythm like crazy, and this is our Culture Club, and you can see their buttons there on their T-shirts. But we drive rhythm in a number of ways. One is our town hall meetings, and we throw big parties biannual. So every 6 months we throw a big party town hall. And what we do at the town halls is we look back 6 months, and then we look forward 6 months. How did we do the previous 6 months? And in February we talk about the whole year. And then in February we talk about what are we trying to do this year, and specifically what's coming up in the quarter, and we level set everyone at the town halls. Town halls are a big deal. We actually tie our national sales meetings, so we've got about 40, 50 sales reps. We tie our national sales meetings to the town hall, because I want them at the party. So we bring in all the sales people, everybody in the company comes to the town hall, and we get together and we get on the same page, we have fun, we review the previous year, we look forward, what's important, we lay out the key themes, and we really push that forward. Sorry, Elsa, I did not do this. I swear I did not do this. So that's the town halls. We also do video updates. We have a Google Plus community that we use, which is really nice. It's all contained. It's just Food State employees. We're able to share stuff. But at least every 2 weeks, I'm doing video updates where I talk about where we're at on the different measures, what's important. With Dave Tiley's help, we've really focused down on our quarterly objectives, and he's gotten us really focused. It's been great. What are the core objectives? What are we trying to bang on this quarter? And so we do a lot of communication around that, but we always tie in some link back to the core values. Some mention the core values in those video updates. I'll talk about flight school, which we do every week. We also have monthly leadership meetings, which is tomorrow. Our leadership meeting is tomorrow, and where we really push this on the leaders. They all run their own playbooks. They all have to talk about their core values in addition to the company core values. They have to make their own core values for their department, what's important to them. And we hold them accountable to that in every monthly leadership meeting. And I talked about the Google Plus community. So rhythm is a big deal. Rhythm is nice because it drives accountability for the CEO. If I know I got to show up in February and do a town hall meeting, it's already scheduled. There's people coming. It's booked. It's a wonderful way to drive accountability and make sure it's happening. Okay. Let's see what's next. Training. Training is also huge. Well, before I think, what kind of training are we doing in the companies? Are we training on culture? What's the kind of training that we're doing right now in the Riverside portfolio companies? What's training typically look like in your company?
Career development.
Career development, good. Online compliance. Leadership, good. Sexual harassment. All this fun stuff. Yep. Okay. So I just want to kind of get a sense of it real quick. We have a training program that I'm extremely proud of. We call it Food State Leadership. How many of you are doing leadership training? Couple? Perfect. And I'm a big believer that the directors, I call it the directors, so if you've got managers, directors, VPs, the directors run the business. To me, my goal as a CEO is that the directors run the business without any help. They got to run the business. Now we're 2.5 years in. Are they running the business yet? Nope. But that is the vision, okay? That is the vision. A company cannot scale, will not scale, if the CEOs run the business, ever. A company will not scale if the executives are running the business. Because how are we going to look at an acquisition? How are we going to even think about 6 months out? How are we going to even think about it if we're running the business? So we pour into the Food State Leadership Program. This happens every Thursday from 8:15 to 9 o'clock. It's kind of a coffee thing. We have virtual. You just go to meetings. Everybody go to meetings then. I'm a big thing on video. Don't just call into the conference call. Put your video on, all right? So the folks in the West Coast have to get up a little early and look at least nice from here up. So they join by video. And we train on stuff. We train on stuff that's very applicable. We just came off of the 5 dysfunctions of the team. We just did the advantage. We have actually taken the advantage by Lencioni and pushed it down through our whole organization. We have 18 playbooks. Every department has a playbook. The executives have a playbook. We run our weekly meetings by the playbook. We teach them how to use the playbook. This is a core value that's core. Think like an owner. We push that out a lot through the Food State Leadership Program. We also have wings. So there's a program where if you read a certain number of books and you write a report on those books and then you do an interview with a small part of exec and show how you're going to apply what you're learning in Food State Leadership, you get your wings. So I got my wings at the last town hall. I actually did the homework and tried to lead by example. I've got my wings back there on my bag, and the wings look just like that. It's like a pilot's wings, and I got to tell you, we gave out 6 of them out of about 30 people in the program at the town hall, and I had 5, 6 people coming up saying, "I'm going to get my wings." So it's reward, it's recognition, it's pushing this at all times. We also have criteria for our food state leaders: have their act together, work well with others, lead others, know, plan, and run their business, and live the core values. So that's how we hold our food state leaders accountable, and it's on their performance review. So that's what we tie our leadership to on their performance review, tying it all back to some of the things you guys have been talking about earlier. None of this matters. Leadership training doesn't matter if you don't have the right people. Many of you have heard of top grading. I'm a huge top grading fanatic. Hiring, it's very difficult to get a job with us. I've had people tell me many, many times, it's harder to get a job here than it is at Kraft or some of the larger companies, because if you don't, you guys all know this, I'm singing the choir on this one. If you don't hire the right people, none of this matters. It will not work. So hiring people is huge. We've got processes and top grading. If you don't know what top grading is, buy the book. Ron Smart, he taught GE, great guy. Don't apply the GE stuff where they fire the bottom 5%. We can't do that. But in terms of interviewing and hiring and retaining, it's probably the Bible on recruiting and hiring for me. It's a fantastic tool. Thought I would mention it. Last point on the 7, intention, commitment, ownership, reward, rhythm, training, and last but not least, reminders. This is one that I covet, another reminder. We've been setting these targets, and we've been wanting to hit these targets, and if we hit these targets, we're going to buy a wooden baseball scoreboard and put it right above fulfillment, and it's going to track our 14 million number since 73. Last year we did 1.6. Our target this year is 2 million, and where are we at year to date? And we want to track that as a big wooden scoreboard and put it right above fulfillment. And I'm going to put a camera on it so I can put it on social media, because we got our whole thing on social media right now. So our tagline is, it's fun to change the world. We haven't been able to buy it yet because we haven't hit the targets we wanted, but it's coming. One of these days we're going to hit our targets, we're going to get this. In addition, some great reminders. We have signs everywhere. We have signs on our core values everywhere. And so it's keeping the focus on the overall goal, improving lives, banners, MVP signups. There's MVP signs everywhere saying nominate somebody, catch them doing the good stuff. And I had nothing to do with it. It is awesome. That's the best part. It had nothing to do with it. It's awesome. Okay, so just to recap a little bit. What does it take to cultivate exciting and effective culture? Cultivate. This is not an overnight thing, man. Cultivate. Clipping, pruning, it means cultivate. Cultivate is a key word there. So intention, commitment, ownership, reward, rhythm, training, reminders. Without the commitment from the top, this will never fly. Commitment from the top. As HR professionals, make it easy. It's one of our core values. If you can make it easy for them to kind of baby step this thing, it's awesome. Associates must own it. You have to do what you say. Back to what Ron was saying, I think, earlier. Integrity is everything. You have to ride the bull if it's your turn. Okay? So show that your commitment. Make promises through rhythm, town halls, drive accountability. If you make a meeting schedule and you have to stick to it, you're more likely to get it done. Everybody's heard of the Covey quadrant. Very important, not urgent. Everybody's familiar with that, right? Building culture would probably fall in that quadrant. Very important, not urgent. At least that's the perception, it's not urgent. Okay, so it's a commitment to it, day in, day out, every single day. It's people thinking about it from that standpoint. Seek out the new culture and reward it at every turn. Have the personal conversations with the old culture. We actually taught a book that talked about bottom line and top line, above the line and below the line thinking. Maybe you've read this book. Below the line thinking versus above the line thinking. And we taught the company this so that we could have that conversation. You're a little below the line. You know, personal conversation. I need you to come back up above the line. So it's key in everything we do. Put reminders everywhere. Make sure you're promoting what's important. Now, why do we do all this? Can anyone think of some benefits to a culture like this? Shout them out. Give them another time. Shout them out. Retention, absolutely. Our turnover is very low. I don't track it, but it's very, very low. Satisfaction, yep.
People are happy.
Happy people.
They love what it works.
Yep.
More discretionary effort.
What was that?
More effort.
More effort, absolutely. Those are all good ones. Let me throw some of the ones that I came up with. Harmony. Harmony. You can use culture to drive harmony. Happiness, someone mentioned that. Hiring. We're in the process. We've done a pretty bad job of this. We're in the process of updating our Food State website. Don't look at it as horrible. But it's going to launch next week. And a big part of our Food State website is all about our culture. We're blogging on our culture. We're talking about, we got videos of it. Some of the stuff you saw today will be on there, okay? We've got to get the word out about our culture. And people will want to work in this kind of culture. They absolutely will. So hiring is a big part of it. Retention. Someone mentioned ownership. Think like an owner. We say that all the time. Think like an owner. It's one of our major core values. And if you've got someone making $14 an hour that's coming up with good ways to save you money, hallelujah, as the CEO. And as soon as you say yes, and they get to implement, they're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what you're paying them. Now, we pay well. We benchmark our pay. I'm not saying that. But it matters less. It matters a lot less, okay? Now, Ron, what kind of result are you looking for here, Ron? What's the benefit you're looking for?
Well, you're throwing up ownership, so I assume you're driving me towards.
I thought you were going to go towards results. Yeah, I mean, ultimately it comes down to results. You can have the best company in the world, but if you're not growing and you're not doing what you say, in the words of Dave Tyler, do as you say, guess what? You had a great culture that went away. Okay? So bottom line results is what it's all about. I can tell you that ownership thinking decreases costs, absolutely, increases customer satisfaction and revenue all day long, and it leads to great results. We feel very good about what we're doing.